Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, here of sight, defender of the fatherland, off here to a glorious 1v1 on Langreskaya. North it is Dezman, fighting here for the Red Army of the Soviet Union, the glories of the Soviet peoples, here with the 1st Mechanized Corps with Third Reserve Army, featuring Commissar Command Squads, conscript assault tactics, team weapon airdrop, go! Rapid conscription and howitzers with double infantry and anti-tank grenade bullets, 8 conscripts at least here. In the south it is Elpern, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 3rd Panzerdivision with Jaeger infantry, Blitzkrieg, and encirclement with Grenadier MD42 there. Pack infantry and Panzerfaust bulletins here for Elpern. Double comes to the Dezman, so likely he's going for the special rifle command for a sniper or a scout car, or possibly because he plans to raise ahead as well. I mean, he does have team weapon airdrop. I really hate that because they make him just one team weapon airdrop, go, like it's some part, like, you know, slogan from some, like, you know, 70s or 80s show, but you kind of get the idea. This allows them to just basically rely on that instead of having to like build a support company, and then they could go for this instead, like, you know, maybe get a sniper, some peel troops, or scout cars, or not. Conscript fought against the MD42, so an interesting strategy that's being planned out here by Dezman. But there you go, Elpern there, caught wrong-footed here by the conscripts and the machine gun there. But there you go, Grenadier stabilize the situation, allowing the machine gun set up and then push back the conscripts here with some well-placed shots. And of course, as always, big hearty thanks to my patrons supporters, these champions, these heroes, these really cool persons. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon or donate by PayPal. And nice in a comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. With that little commercial message out of the way here, 2nd Grenadier Squad almost done for Elpern. 2 conscripts for Dezman. Looks like he might be playing the sniper now, or possibly peel troops or scout. Yeah, well, no, he's going for 3rd conscript there, okay? So I'm not entirely sure again what the full idea. I mean, it also is possibly just going to completely not go for anything here because again, it is kind of, I believe, slightly cheaper than the support company. So again, he can use it to just skip ahead there and go for the vehicles of the tank engine command, for example, a bit faster. But if that's the case, that is definitely an interesting approach. 3rd Grenadier Squad F open, sandbags here. Engineers got the victory point there. Worth noting, Elpern's been so focused on the center, he actually hasn't grabbed the western fuel point at all yet. Admittedly, now there's Dezman gotten his fuel point, so neither player is actually getting a significant fuel advantage over the other one. But it is interesting to note that neither player has really gone heavily for the fuel point as of yet. So, 4th conscript here possibly, and he could also be planning a lot of submachine guns there. That wouldn't be half bad, or at least uninteresting. But it also is possible might be planning just to mix in a sniper here where all the conscripts start bleeding out Elpern that way. Against the conscripts. Heading east with the conscripts, and there you go, we do get Dezman and the Red Army here with a sniper to bleed out the fascists. Pioneers, machine gun towards the centre here. Flying there for Pioneer, they're burning through the conscripts. Always a bit risky to search, since of course this could encourage them very quickly to begin laying down a lot of mines. So keep that in mind. Sam, like see, we got engineers with a flamethrower of their own, fighting around the car point, which of course is further denying Dezman needs for brief full resources. Meanwhile, Elpern has managed to cross western fuel point there, conscript being mowed down by the Grenadiers, and of course got the flaming there for Pioneer moving in there. Fun fact about Soviet flamethrowers, by the way, is they're actually designed to look a little less like flamethrowers, and of course they started firing fire out. In fact, the earlier model, the CoH2, actually had the flamethrower tank look like a backpack, while the flamethrower itself looks like a rifle. The CoH3 just kept like the rifle look bit, but removed the backpack-looking flamethrower tank there. So a little fun fact there. As obviously, flamethrower operators tend to be really big targets, since no one likes to get caught on fire. Which also typically leads to the other issue with sniper or flamethrower operators. Typically, if they get caught, they typically then get shot because, again, no one likes flamethrower operators. Same applies to snipers, by the way. Anyways, Elpern here really going for a ball to move down the car point there, but with a sniper back, it becomes much harder for Elpern to maintain such an pin here. As said, on incoming is one on Langres, as the map was called there. Pins like this on the car points were actually quite common. At least was a definite actual strategy, then could be quite nasty. Sandbags here from Dezman. Not enough munitions for any submachine guns yet, or certainly the command points. Medics on the way there, very good. Elpern there, Imagine is taking up. Yes, indeed. We would like to see an armoured car to hunt down the sniper, though theoretically we could say go for, well, nothing here really. Maybe hope for some ambush training here with the Jaeger infantry to catch the sniper. Though they have nerfed ambush training, so it's less good at actually counting snipers, which I definitely find a bit sad. You could also go for encirclement, hope to catch a sniper with a stormtrooper. That could definitely be an interesting tactic there. Just hide the stormtroopers, then sprint out and charge the sniper and pull up, attack to advance that point blank range and murder them. But that would be a very, very, shall I say, long sight strategy here. Doubt he'll go for it, but it would be fun to see encirclement. It's definitely one of my personal favourite doctrines. You got the ambush training, you got stormtroopers, you got break supply line, break through and close the pocket. It's all good stuff. Well, break the supply line, it'll break supply line is just really only useful in conjunction with close the pocket. But it's really fun. Elpern then with the 251 Mittlerer Schützenpanzerwagen. Well, obviously he's going to go for the regular version for the flamethrower, so it'd be nice to put for the just regular version. Use it to mechanize his Infantry, put pressure there on Dezman. You can swing calling the Commissar, plus he'll be upgrading his men with the PPSH-41 submachine gun. But there you go. Mittlerer Schützenpanzerwagen out here for Elpern. Germany, Deutschland. Continuing up, going for the Eastern Victory Point there. The 251 Half is actually just basically an armored version of a 3-ton half tractor, actually, which is actually how a lot of like the early German like light vehicles were basically just like, you know, utility vehicles just being armored. That's like the case in a lot of cases. Also, the 250 Half was just a 1-ton tractor upgraded. And like the early armoured cars were similar, also just like, you know, utility vehicles of some kind, just armoured, turn them into armoured vehicles. Little fun fact. The Pioneer's being shot to bits, producing the half to get to reinforce the troops to the front line. So good. Thumbs up dead to Elpern. Dezman's yet to go for the Commissar. Probably should treat this Pioneers. I mean, he can't leave himself very open to a possible like sniper follow-up there. Shot to kill the Pioneer if he's not careful. Still disrupts his opponent's fuel income, which is great here. And he is going for the flamethrower half track. I mean, I can't blame Elpern for it. It is a pretty good upgrade, but I personally do prefer a bit more mechanized infantry. It gives you some much better sort of frontline presence in the longer term. It can also like allow you to shift troops from point to point, which is also really powerful at times, honestly. Oh wait, goddammit, again the Mittlerer Schützenpanzerwagen. Pioneers here for Elpern. On the west here we got the Gunners catching the Unity Ballistic Fuel Point. Dezman has, well, we've yet to see any sort of tech that we do get the weapon airdrop here. Thumbs up there to Dezman, obviously. But for example, no submachine guns, and certainly no Commissar Command Squad. Hitting the car upon there. Machine actually about to get wiped out. That's going to be a huge blow here to Elpern. Definitely punish him also for like being too slow to retreat, but there you go. Flame Fabric rushing in to prevent that from happening. Burning through the surge there. Hey Yuri, don't you feel like things are a bit hot? I'm on fire, you idiot! Help put the flames out! Almost got a wipe there. There now, Elpern really has a lot of fire there. And technically a Pioneer Squad flamethrower alongside the flamethrower is technically like the correct number of flamethrowers and actual flamethrower they have, because they'd have the 2 there on the sides, but then there'd also be like a 3rd flamethrower connected to the main tank used by someone on the ground. Then it's almost got the sniper there, but they just lack the firepower tech to finish the job off. Still, Elpern retains good map versus Dezman, but now Dezman of course has the maximum and a field gun as well here soon. Dezman probably wants to consider taking up himself soon as well. That said, Elpern's fuel harassment has been pretty effective, and there you go. At the 8-minute mark, we do get Jaeger Infantry and a Pack 40 on the way here. Ambush tactics though, ambush camouflage, very good. Machine actually got wiped right outside of his base entrance, but gonna use with ambush camouflage and some upgrades are actually quite potent. Light machine guns, RG for the phase, and of course the MD42 team itself with ambush camouflage is pretty good, in particular in conjunction with something like incendiary piercing rounds and some veterans, so you can really mess up infantry attacks. Even with the nerfs, it's still really good, because even 25% accuracy, I think is like we get now on it, is pretty good on an MD42. Like whatever they got is still pretty good, in particular in conjunction with something like, you know, the incendiary piercing rounds. But there you go, we do get the PPSH-41 here. The Spargin submachine gun there for Dezman. Snubbed open the Grenadiers. Grenadiers hiding out there, should of course upgrade them. Machine they crewed up, should definitely add ambush camouflage to that one. And the flame factory receiving repairs again. He should, of course, also consider take up. And Dezman is going for a second team weapon airdrop. Go! Elpern could also consider Jaeger Command Squad, and definitely should. I mean, that should be one of the main reasons to go for Jaeger Infantry. I mean, if you're not going for that, you could as well just gone for, you know, encirclement. Yes. Anyways, maximum down to fire. Sneaking at the cuff point there, very good. Worth noting, of course, is that Elpern has in fact gone for second Pioneer Squad, just to make sure he's got minesweepers. That is a really excellent idea. Sorry about the hiccup. Ambush camouflage and more grenadiers, and on the MD42, very good. And S-mines on the cuff point there, actually. That's pretty sneaky there by Elpern. Thumbs up. But no tech and no Jaeger Command Squad. Seems something up here though. Probably should have stuck to the shrubbery to get the ambush bonus off. An additional advantage of the ambush camouflage on the MD42 just allows the opponents like this to do more easily walk in, like a better range of the MD42, get some good hits on that one. Plus it makes it a bit harder for them to flank in time to just keep it like, you know, moving about there, because they can't spot it ahead of time until it's like too late, and that's actually a significant advantage too. Flamethrower tech taking nasty hit on his remaining ambush mode there. But definitely should upgrade them. In particular, like say hoping to catch a sniper with them, he definitely should upgrade them. Maybe like either again the Jaeger Infantry package or the LMGs, but definitely should upgrade them with something. Tech for Elpern, still no Jaeger Command Squad. Well, honestly, if he's not going to go for that, I would think he should have gone for encirclement and say call in some stormtroopers. But also because, for example, breakthrough, if you can build up like a decent amount of tanks and be really powerful. As now it doesn't just increase the speed of the tanks and vehicles, it actually increases the rate of fire. And that means you can actually like get off some pretty good attacks with it. It's almost like the old Blitzkrieg from Company's Run, except that one also boosted infantry too. Anyway, sniper here for Elpern, he's had enough there of his opponent's sniper. Bending through the conscripts here, 10 kills actually, pretty good there. Ooh, more S-mines. No, yeah, S-mines. Possible chance of getting wiped. Meanwhile, Dezman has yet to take up. Definitely should begin doing that soon. Even like, you know, Elpern's fuel harassment has been pretty good. Chance of getting wiped here, I think, are definitely not impossibly small. Down to just poor Petrov there. But no. Flamethrower check narrowly escapes, but so does Petrov. Though the burn wounds may be a bit harsh. Holding the flamethrower to safety, very good. Got 2 Pioneer squatting but immediately fix it. Elpern definitely needs to like begin pulling in some armor, and at this stage he would also benefit from a mortar. Oh, speak of the devil, or in this case, speak of the Werfer. Nope, he cancels it. Well, damn. And note, he's not moving to block here because he knows if he does that, he gives away to Dezman. He's got a counter sniper, so he has to pretty much like just stand there and do nothing. Pretty, you know, important detail there. So thumbs up to Elpern to keeping that in mind. Meanwhile, Dezman is finally taking up, very good. Elpern, though, despite, you know, having taken up, is yet to like push for any fast armor, like for example, a fast hospital, it would be pretty devastating for Dezman to have to deal with. So I would say that's a pretty big missed opportunity here. But there you go, flamethrower tech kaput. Double figures are knocking him out. Clearly, Elpern was not prepared for a little cis run there. Oh, did he actually spot the sniper? I think he did, or at least he's probably assumed there's a sniper there. Because all the way, there's pretty much just not sniping away with the sniper, but there you go, get spotted anyways. Infantry gun is also finally upgraded here for Elpern. Finally good, but this is a pretty big one here. I don't know what happened to the Pack 40, but it's definitely in trouble there. Now it's got the sniper engaging wildly. Again, I think he realizes Dezman has figured out the sniper was there somehow. Gunneer squad wiped out. The submachine with the conscripts there. The submachine gun wielding conscripts doing a ton of damage there. They should not be underestimated. Quite a blow that's Elpern. I am still a bit surprised at the complete lack of the Jaeger Command Squad. He's just, you know, such a good unit to call in for the Wehrmacht if you go over the doctrine. So it is a bit surprising he isn't. And there's no support McCall either. Definitely feel like those are two significant step-ups here by Elpern. I'm not entirely sure why. It's definitely giving Dezman much more room to like just get back on the field and actually do some damage here to Elpern return, so this is a bit strange. I mean, I like his use of S-mines, but these other things are starting to, like, you know, slightly make that look bad. Nice Molotov, they combine to take out the sniper. Good play there by Dezman, definitely punishing Elpern there. No, the sniper actually makes away there. Holy smokes, that's a close call though. But he definitely needs to, like, start playing for armor there. He's just missing out such an opportunity for Elpern. Huge, just, like, you know, opportunity straight out the window. Definitely not recommendable here. And definitely something he needs to work on. Like, when you're ahead, you need to, like, actually make use of that factor ahead. And currently, Elpern is just dropping the ball here, like, you know, he's working at the Magnitogorsk ball dropping factory number 5. And he just dropped all of the balls by accident. There you go, finally got the tech going, but he could easily have, like, you know, Ostman out by now and Panzer IV even. But like a fast Ostman, I think, would be a bit of a problem. In particular, backed up by the mortars into then spots where the field guns I could smoke and then just rush in the Ostman and just start tank through Dezman's stuff. But he's definitely also just flooding manpower in general. Not entirely sure why. Like, just didn't go for mortar, didn't go for the command squad, didn't go for Panzergrenadiers. Seems like there's some kind of hesitation going on with Elpern versus Dezman, which is obviously in the favour of Dezman and not so much Elpern. Pulling up the right flank of the Pioneers, very good. Sniper holding back, way back there, and he's going for tier 4 key, so cancelling it. So there's clearly, that was probably the source of the delay there for Elpern. He was actually really hesitant and unsure of the situation. Not greatly even that, but I guess that can sort of explain it again. But even then, I would not recommend. I think that kind of rush in particular is still floating that much manpower and it's not just going for something else. Meanwhile, Dezman has been is able to exploit this, but just pushing straight for the mechanized armor company. So by the time Elpern has something out, there's definitely going to be a bit more, you know, in trouble there, not quite as effective as it could have been. And it thus has lost, like, you know, the actual advantage and thus any actual, like, real shock effect. So he just rushed down Ostman instead, backed up by a mortar. I think Dezman will be in a much better, worse state off compared to whatever Elpern's going to go for now. Grenadiers flanking them with the Gewehr 43, not bad. Sniper hanging about here. Sniper meanwhile for the Soviets is all over the east. Quick grenade here, the Stielhandgranate. Oh, and the Conscripts actually. I thought he was going to toss it at the Maxim. So there you go. Heavy Panzerkopf for Elpern, and he's going for the Sturmpanzer IV, also known as Stupa. Well, they call it the Bomber here. That was actually an Allied designation and not one the Germans utilised. It's now being caught up by the conscripts again. But nice flank here by Dezman. Very nice flank. I'm surprised we actually seen like any S-mines around here from Elpern to make some of these flanks harder. And there you go. Execute the sniper with contemptive ease. Very good play there by Dezman, obviously. Really highlighting the power of the PP-641 wielding conscripts there. A lot of people just like to still focus on the 7 upgrades, but honestly the submachine upgrade is just really punchy too. You can do some significant amount of damage fast, in particular if you're like, you know, a good aggressive player. So there you go, second pack 48 Elpern, Sturmpanzer IV around the corner here. Meanwhile, though, Dezman again is exploiting this just huge timing gap here and, well, the lack of more infantry from Elpern. I mean, he's operating with 2 infantry squads for quite some time, and again, that's not great either. Pioneers about to get executed here, charging the submachine wielding conscripts is typically not great for your health. Quite the opposite. But there you go, Sturmpanzer IV effects right here for Elpern. Germany, Deutschland. Going straight for the conscripts behind heavy cover. Double fields up the Sturmpanzer. No, the issue there, we're just going straight for that one. The limited support. Like, it just presents a really big target for the field goods. Obviously, again, the Ostman would have been that as well, but it's a bit more flexible, a bit more fluid due to having the, you know, turret, but also crucially could have been that faster, could have been supported with a mortar more easily. So, a bit awkward here for Elpern, but great for Dezman. Great for Dezman. Engineers laying down mines for less than field point. Mine went off as well. 4 kills on the Sturmpanzer, and now we got the T-34-6 out here. Should probably keep the packs close to the Sturmpanzer because it really should be within Elpern's imagination to consider the possibilities. Opponent's going to rush straight for the Sturmpanzer with the tank as first opportunity. So now with the supporting with 23 kills. Pioneer second man lost, Sturmpanzer running forwards again. So do get the response from the pack, but again, I'm a bit surprised they just didn't consider that possibility because typically something like this is going to be like a pretty big target of interest for the enemy and tank to quickly exploit. Oh, that's a lot of bunch of infantry. There you go though. Attack ground. Definitely misses here. Lucky for Dezman. Less great for Elpern. Adding the pinline machine gun. Shot fired. Whiffed again. Still no Jaeger command squad. Elpern really badly needs more infantry. There we go. Oh, there's a good shot. Two for going straight for the Sturmpanzer. Jaeger command squad could maybe sprint in to Propagandacaster it. Packs in a bit of trouble as well there. Pioneers in trouble. There we go. Lost one of his Pioneer squad. Got some troops on the far right flank. Try and push for the victory point, a fuel point there. There you go. Jaeger command squad on the field here for Elpern. Fixing up the Sturmpanzer fear. These second is moving up towards the victory point. We got 291 versus 352. Dezman could easily go for more T-34s and 6s, though I would not be surprised if he just goes for Katyusha instead. Also got one Stuka anti-tank strafe ready here. Katyusha there for Dezman, sniping forwards. Need to cover around these guns in your command squad since the T-34 is quickly to get the sniper, particularly if they do have a slight penalty move to movement after they fire the shot. Sandbags pull us in fuel point, very good. Dezman, Elpern definitely starting to feel like he's just slowly losing control of the match here. Again, his Sturmpanzer rush definitely was a bit of a wash. Timothy didn't have a lot of infantry supported. He's moving towards the center, got the double fields moving about here. And the Maximum's at the ready as well. I would not be surprised if Elpern tries to go here for a Panzerwehr to deal with support weapons. Almost got the field in here actually. But no, narrowly gets away. And we got some cops on the flank. MD42 though is holding fire, is not shooting at them. Hope somebody went with a bit close to opening up them, or perhaps not. Grenadiers hunting out here. So what will Elpern go for? Meanwhile, the Katyusha has arrived here for Dezman and the 1st Mechanized Corps. Sadly, no Commissar by for Dezman, and no Commissar. Sturmpanzer rolling ahead here, 9 kills, close veterans 1, and the bunker busting barrage. Katyusha firing, Pioneers under some intense fire here from Dezman's positions. Controlling about here behind enemy lines, ready to catch throw a surprise here at Elpern at the worst possible timing, I imagine. Almost got the feeling that'd be a pretty great killer for him there. Gunpty was going to grab it with a punch, but get wiped out. Sturmpanzer with 10 kills, but it's also fairly damaged. On the west side here, Grenadiers versus the conscripts. There you go, grenade off. Oh! Almost walked straight into it. That was pretty lucky there, but in turn has to achieve with the T-34 arriving. Situation for Elpern remains even dicier as Dezman is just slowly tightening the noose, and Elpern does commit to the Panzerwehr to help, try and deal with the infantry support, crucially the field guns, but he lacks nothing to seriously contest the tank though, which I think has some big issues as well there for Elpern. Need to fix up that Sturmpanzer fast, but his Pioneers heavily damaged. We've got 1 Pioneer squad by way at this stage, so pretty rough here. We got 245 to 352, maximum east here for Dezman and the Red Army. Country quality the command squad of the Grenadier. T-34 there lining up for some repairs. One thing for Dezman and the Red Army. There you go. Panzerwehr for 42 out here for Elpern. Fun fact about the Panzerwehr for 42, the Waffen-SS actually had their own variation on. They actually fired Katyusha rockets. Initially, they just used stocks of captured Katyusha rockets, but after a certain point, it actually just have slave labor to make them for them. In fact, the Waffen-SS relied a lot on slave labor for a lot of their stuff, including their uniforms. Starts being hammered here by Panzer F5, utterly annihilated. Ground the western point. Storm Panzer fixing up. Jaeger command squad charging ahead here. And, ooh, rapid conscription though. Spicy. Bit late here to the party of a Dezman, but you know. Better late than never when it comes to these trying to get better using abilities here. Straight into the field guns, then you can bombard it again. This is also where like a mortar would be great. You could just like smoke these expected positions of the field guns. Bounce up support weapons here, make for a great kitchen target. Pack wiped out and destroyed. Great hit there for Dezman. And Elpern is just like, you know, operating at a way too slow pace, I think, now versus Dezman. He needs to like be able to like launch much more aggressive attacks to like really devastate Dezman, but a forced compensation and just like, you know what, he's got just can't mobilize sufficient strength to like really make these breakthrough pushes. See against Dezman, there we go, gets a free counter squad out there in the end as well, damaging from the Sturm Panzer. Almost got a wipe here. We got 109 arms for 52. We got the second T-54 out there for Dezman, and the army does get a wipe there. Sturm Panzer receiving repairs, but Elpern really badly needs tanks and preferably some more troops as well. And a mortar. He very badly needs a mortar, honestly. Like the Panzer is nice, but he can't provide him with what he really needs, which is some smoke screens, so that way effectively, in air quotes, suppress the field guns, or at least make it hard for him to shoot accurately at his troops as he then pushes forwards. I know it's not mechanical suppression, but it is effective suppression in a lot of cases. Since when they do fire out of the smoke, they do tend to be less accurate. Got engineers out there for Dezman. It's got 163 to 352. Rushing up the Sturm Panzer first. Shoot, push back the Maxim. Another head-on assault for Elpern. We've got a small diversion in squad towards the western victory point. And the centre of the T-34 is effectively just holding up all of Elpern's troops with fairly great ease. Almost got the field gun there. Pack 4 needs to fire away at the T-34s and 6 with a zealous eagerness. And Negachu's firing in further, just punishing in the assault. 18 kills that Sturm Panzer. Very close to to turn some Schutzen, but he's also running out of victory points and crucially time. It doesn't really help the tactic. Again, he's just now repeating just like the same head-on attacks. He's not like, for example, looking to like pull off a sudden storm maneuver on Dezman. But again, partly it's just the force compensation doesn't allow this. Like just bit clunky tanks like the Sturm Panzer or assault tanks in this case doesn't really allow for it, and obviously the Panzer is just there to support. So force composition is just also something in this case kind of betraying Elpern here versus Dezman. It is kind of betraying him. Better to the gain, Panzerfaust galore, but also numerous guns being slaughtered. On the west here we got Jaeger command across the comes with there. Almost got the T-34 there, machine hull up the Soviet infantry, then from William, we got the Maxims there as well. More pioneers, that's just repairing. The west Jaeger command corps pushed back by Dezman's Frontovics. And the machines being pushed back there by the other machine, and more crucially backed up by the ace-level sniper behind Dezman's command. And Dezman at this point could just easily begin just churning up a near infinite number of T-34s and 6s and roll them over Elpern like he's nothing. Fixing up the Sturm Panzer 4. Another T-34 on the way. So yeah, Elpern situation there, very much bad. There he goes, he's trying to rush it. Almost got it, but not quite. T-34 up here for Dezman. Machine gun train to the maximum again here. Jaeger command's got backing up. He could throw a smoke grenade, honestly, but sadly seems like Elpern just isn't a great believer in smoke screens. Hunter barrage did a bit of damage, but I don't actually think he killed anyone. On the west, we got some guns thinking about there. We got 69 versus 352, but overall odds for Elpern at this point are pretty much very, very bleak, and I do not see him actually winning at this point. Like, He's just effectively managed to shut off his own opportunities very effectively with the kind of force composition he went for.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Team moving forwards.
We have taken the enemy down to 50 points.
48 was the team 52. Bunny's being murdered there to repair the Sturmpanzer. Almost got the field gun there, but overall just Elpern is unable to muster sufficient pressure there. Should have backed it for support core earlier, honestly, and just pushed some armor out there. But honestly, he's just not gone for tier 4 at all. Tags back to the conscripts. 25. And without the pack, 40 is completely at the mercy now of Dezman's tank, and you know, I'm surprised Dezman just isn't being more aggressive now that he's actually murdered the pack crew there. He could just charge in and just utterly annihilate Elpern. "22 kills, half 30 days with that Sturmpanzer. And there you go, GG game over. Loss for Elpern, a loss for the German army. A nice fight here. I'd like to see some other stuff here from the Certain, particular stuff like using submachine guns. Again, they can be quite potent. We even saw some rapid conscription. Team weapon airdrop go. Sadly, no comments. I feel like there's been no stuff. As for Elpern, he had a good early mid game, but he just kind of dropped the ball mid game, which we see for some players. Like, I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but really, my best piece of advice is when it comes to tier 4, just pretend it doesn't exist. Like, a lot of the time, players just straight up lose by going for tier 4 because, honestly, you're paying like 50% more for units that have barely higher performance ratings than a tier 3 unit. Like, sure, in theory they have the armor, but like with 2 field guns, the armor just doesn't matter anyways. Particularly not for like the fact they just don't get 50% more firepower in a lot of cases. So, you know, really, Elpern should just like stuck to support course, push for like a fast Ostwind, gone for some mortars, and then brought in Panther Force, in which case I think he had a much better chance. Additionally, it didn't help that Elpern relied on just these head-on attacks, no real attempt to outmaneuver, use the terrain on the flanks like that way, outmaneuver Dezman, his forcemen to like other positions. So there are definitely some issues of Elpern, which made it much easier for Dezman to turn this game around and win it. So there you go, hope you enjoyed this match, I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell friends, tell family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Cheers, thank you for watching, and of course remember, don't go for tier 4's Wehrmacht. Cheers everyone!